Hi, so we are here with Nadia and Skyler, and we're going to talk a little bit about Lighthouse, which is an amazing opportunity if you ever wanted to learn more about your mental health, track it on the daily, or connect with a listener. And I'll leave it to them to explain a little bit more about what that means.
Yeah, definitely. So, hi guys, I'm Nadia. I'm one of the co-founders of Lighthouse. I'm currently a junior in Langley High School, which is in McLean, Virginia.
And hi there, I'm Skyler Hoffman. I'm a senior in Research Triangle High School, which is in Durham, North Carolina.
Yeah. I guess Lighthouse is a company that we started along with other members of our team over the summer, over this prolonged summer of COVID. And essentially, how this got started is we were both accepted into this program called LaunchX. And I'll talk on it briefly, and Skylar can finish it up. But essentially, what LaunchX is it's a global program where high schoolers, to compete and get in. But essentially, we all start companies about what we're passionate about, and it's a very long program. After 6 weeks of debating, discussing, and listening to mentors and advice, and people like you guys, we decided to do something for mental health since we're all really passionate about that.
That's right.
So how does it work? How does one connect with you all? What what kind of can they expect from the experience?
Sure thing. So, with Lighthouse, what we're trying to do is solve the problem with regular therapy. And how you do that is it's expensive, it takes a long time, and it's very formal, and it doesn't exactly accept everyone. So, what we've done is we've done the next best thing. In fact, in some regards, even better. Cheaper prices, you can get quicker visitation, and accepts pretty much everyone, even regardless of age or anything like that. So, pretty much how we do this is instead of having licensed therapists, we have listeners. And most of these listeners are retired therapists or therapists in training or people with a long history of helping people with mental health problems. And yeah, and then besides that, you go on to Zoom or video conference and you can schedule your meetings.
And so in terms of, it's an app. So in terms of the daily functions beyond connecting with listeners, what do you think is good about that? And what can they expect from just using the app on the regular?
Yeah, of course. So I guess as we're starting up, it is still a website, but the functions are still exactly the same. So essentially, besides the listeners, besides having this type of cheap, almost on-demand therapy for you guys all, to just log in and be like, oh, I need help right now because I'm going through a little bit of a rough time. Things are stressful, something came up. So besides that kind of on-demand nature, there's also a lot of other things that we're introducing and we're trying to incorporate. So from mood trackers, just to check in with yourself because no one knows you better than you. So, having the type of method where you can be like, oh, today I didn't feel so well. And like, why is that so? Because in order to improve, we have to understand, what happened, how can we change that? And then that's why we're here to also help you to help that process kind of go smoother and to recognize that. So definitely having that online tracker, the journal, and then having a community. Because as we have more people using Lighthouse, there's this community that's building of young teens, of adults, they're all going through the same thing. And having people to talk to, having people that go through the same experience as you is really just priceless. And it's something that a lot of people can benefit from and have benefited from. So it's definitely something we're looking to as well.
Yeah, and that sounds great. And so how if someone's interested in getting involved, maybe they really like this, they're passionate about mental health, they haven't seen other opportunities to get involved because it can be so hard to find work or volunteer opportunities related to mental health, especially now. How did they get involved?
Sure thing. We would love any help, even if you think you want to help mental health and get involved somehow, and you don't have any skills that you think. Trust me, we will find use. We will appreciate literally any effort, and we'll always want to help more people. So if you want to get involved, I'm pretty sure you can message us through our website, or you can even message me personally, and I will connect you. And I'm gonna put my email in the chat right here in Zoom.
Yeah, definitely. So while Skylar is doing that, I can definitely elaborate on more of like if you do have specific skill sets, what we could use, those skills in. So as a startup, obviously tech is a large thing that we're going towards, and of course, outreach and social media. So if you have history or even just love, being on Instagram, Facebook, whatever, those skills are really handy, and we'd really love to have you guys on our team. Or if you have experience, reaching out to other companies, other NAMI, beacons across the US, we'd love to expand through that way as well. So honestly, whatever experience you guys have, whether it's in art, writing, outreach, anything at all, we would love to have you on our team.
Yeah, and so I think one of the questions on people's minds might be if they're trying to use this website, will they be kept anonymous? Because that's, that's something that might be a concern to some people.
Most definitely. We totally understand. That's one of the things for therapy. You have to make this big commitment. People are going to see you. You're walking in the building. You're going to talk. With this, as few people as possible are going to actually know. The people that are going to be knowing is going to be you're going to type in who you are a little bit and what you kind of want, and then what we do is we pair with another person. So the only people that actually know who you are and what's going on would be us when we pair, and then the actual listener, and that's it.
Yep. We understand that stigma is honestly a huge issue, even with teens, college students. We understand that, despite everyone becoming more open and, us obviously fighting for, mental health becoming a norm, since it is something that we have to recognize it's just an illness and it's something that everyone has to deal with at some point, and it should just be worked towards to fix. And there's nothing else about it. No one should be judged or, anything of that sort with, being associated with mental illness. So, but we understand that it still exists. So obviously we take our anonymous aspect very seriously. And we want to make sure that everyone feels like they're being safe and their information is being kept as private as possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's really great. And so again, the website is our slash or not slash dash lighthouse.org, and it's typed in the description. Do you all have any other information that you think would be really helpful for people interested in learning more about Lighthouse?
I think that sums it up pretty well. What do you think, Nadia?
Um, I guess another really interesting thing is that there's another organization called Ignite, and essentially what they're doing is they're trying to get more political change in mental health. So they're trying to make sure that mental health, not only do campuses, college campuses have an option of providing it, but it's becoming mandatory. So they want to have that, official federal kind of change for it. And they've also been working with us along with NAMI. So it's really been a great partnership event as well. So with all these partners, I guess it's something that we're learning that is not, you're not alone. There's a lot of people who are fighting for, you guys who are fighting to make mental health something that can be normal and something that can be, fought against and, brought back to health. So definitely having this type of partnerships, these type of opportunities to talk with people all over the world and all over, the US, it's giving us a more holistic approach. And we're able to see so many different opportunities. And we realize that even in like top colleges and top schools, this issue still exists. So just because, it's not just you, it's not just your circumstance, but it is something that, a lot of people have to go through. So we're trying to make sure that it, combats no matter what situation you're in as best as possible.
Yeah, and I think that's really great. And another resource to connect with if you all are interested in advocacy is, of course, if you're at a college, you can either connect with a college chapter of NAMI on campus, or you can start your own. And so always feel free to oh, okay. The website recently changed. So I remember I said .org, but it's actually .com, and I'll fix that in the description. But regardless, always feel free to DM us if you're interested in starting a NAMI on campus chapter or finding your own to check out. Like maybe you haven't heard of your NAMI on campus chapter and you want to connect with them. So definitely feel free to DM us, and we're always willing to provide support and help in any way possible. Even if you're not college age, there's a considerable amount of high schoolers too, like these two, who are trying to strive for better mental health. So it's not just at the college level. And even if you've graduated from high school and you're not in college, there's ways we can look to support you as well. So definitely don't feel like it just has to be college. It's not just college. And so do you all have tips just in terms of bettering your mental health? I know we're about 9 months into coronavirus, and so a lot of people are still self-isolating, and or just tips on connecting with others, because it can be really hard, especially now, especially since we're so ingrained in our ways of distancing ourselves from others.
Yeah, definitely. I think a large factor of, unfortunately, of a large increase in mental health issues and stress, anxiety, and just depression from isolation, definitely, is from COVID. So if you feel, since the beginning up till now, there's more anxiety, there's more stress, you just don't feel as motivated to do anything. Trust me, you're not alone. Like there are so many people, even for us, like we know that part of the reason we came up with this is because we can see this in our own lives, with our family, our friends, is definitely effects can be felt. So definitely something, despite being socially distanced, perhaps being, isolated a large portion of the time, reaching out to people maybe you haven't talked to in a while, definitely something that you could look towards. And as Lighthouse, we're trying to cultivate, that environment of teens talking to one another, whether or not it's, about your mental illnesses, just talking to one another about school, we say teens and young adults, but honestly, it's for any age. So don't feel afraid. If you're younger, if you're older, we don't care. It's all fine. But having that kind of community and being able to talk to others, definitely something that helps. Subconsciously, humans are all really social creatures. So being able to talk to people, to ask questions, and just communicate is really valuable.
I totally agree with that. Sort of in our journey when we were starting this business, we've had to do a lot of research, and we've talked to a whole bunch of groups, Facebook groups and Discord servers, Instagram accounts. And what we found is that there are so many different community resources and just groups of people that are there to listen. So if you want, you can email me and I can try finding you one of those cool groups, and I can get you and introduce you to some people that are really cool.
Yeah, well, it was great having you all. And definitely, if you ever feel down, you can message crisis hotlines. And I'll post this, I'll edit the description and post some of those, or you can go on to our-lighthouse.com and get connected with a listener, or just, track your mood on the regular. And that might be helpful just to see, where you're at and where you could go. But thank you all for coming today, and hopefully, hopefully a large number of people will be relieved. They'll see this and go onto your website. I think it's a great resource. So everyone who, if you're even thinking about it, just go to the link, check it out, and see if it's something for you.
Yeah,